Yes, we're back from New York City. The extended hangover continues to throb in my brain cells. And you know, there are just some things you can't unsee. Now, we're straight back into the grind of a market that has recovered, well, a smidge of its dignity. The total cryptocurrency market cap is poking its head back above $1 trillion once again. For how long? Well, we'll have to see. With no prospect of the Fed easing off on rate hikes till well into the autumn, it's going to be an interesting phase of the market. Coming up in today's Quick Take, Morgan Creek is looking to outmaneuver, outflank SBF. You don't do that, he's too big, his hair. Whew. With an audacious, pernicious $250 million raise purely for the culture, of course. Yuga gets litigious, Harmony opens its checkbook to try and recover lost funds from the bridge hack, and Anonymous has a message for Do Kwon. And their own token? Right after this. Earn up to $2,500 in NFT rewards from top collections like Mutant Ape Yacht Club, Azuki, Doodles, and more when you sign up for Slingshot's mobile waitlist. Slingshot is a Web3 trading platform where you can discover and trade over 7,500 crypto tokens at the best prices at lightning fast speed. With a super sleek, intuitive UI, you feel like you're trading on a centralized exchange when you're actually trading DeFi. Trade now on desktop and make sure to grab your spot on the mobile waitlist.
Sign up at slingshot.finance/mobile/the Defiant.
If you didn't know, Harmony used to be mi familia. I literally got the t-shirt, yeah? I was the face of Harmony's videos. They gave me my first job in Web3, and they gave me a taste of just how hard it is to build a layer 1. To tempt anyone across from Ethereum, you need a buttload of incentives, and you need a robust bridge. But bridges, as we know, are massively vulnerable. Ronin was depleted to the tune of $540 million, allegedly by the fearsome Lazarus Group. Solana's wormhole pillaged for $325 million. And the weirdest one, the Poly Network's $600 million exploit that the hacker ended up returning because some hackers are that well nice, okay? So now it's Harmony's turn, and the painful process of attempting to get the funds back begins. The vulnerability itself might have been a multi-sig that required only 2 signatures to initiate transactions. I mean, like, when are we going to learn, yeah? Now, this was flagged back in April by ApeDev, who almost prophetically seemed to have seen it like it was going to be. He says, we're going to see another 9-figure hack, and 9 figures we got. Now, Harmony is now working with cybersecurity professionals and forensic engineers to figure out a battle plan and offering not a 9-figure bounty, but a 7-figure bounty. And I do hope the funds are returned, and I hope they're successful. Now, be under no illusion, we are still suffering the fallout of the lunar collapse and the subsequent contagion to 3 arrows, who have now fallen completely silent, Celsius, Voyager, and now BlockFi. FTX, SBF, FTX, jumped in to assist the troubled lender with a $250 million line of revolving credit. Aren't they nice? And this was after Alameda, also connected to SBF, you're seeing a pattern here, bailed out Voyager Digital with another substantial line of credit. And it's worth bearing in mind that FTX, SBF, seeing a pattern here, are heavily suspected to have been one of the firms that worked extremely hard to liquidate Celsius in the first place. Be the problem and the solution. Now, the issue with FTX's line of credit to BlockFi is that it would give FTX allegedly the option to buy BlockFi for next to nothing. And the problem this creates is that it would annihilate all existing shareholders, including Morgan Creek, led by Pomp. Now, if you're Zach Prince, the FTX offer does make kind of sense because it doesn't subordinate client assets to the rescuer, which means the lender doesn't get paid before the people who have their funds in the lending protocol. Now, it would appear Morgan Creek is hustling to put their own equity deal in place to preserve their seat at the table and at least keep the value in their stock. And there was a leaked call that Coindesk has heard that outlines all of this and gives them a really weird insight into all these strange deals that are going on, like these sort of never-ending phone calls to try and create some kind of deal. SBF, of course, continues to exert an almost impossible gravity on this space. Oh, and meanwhile, Goldman Sachs is leading an investor group to buy Celsius's assets if it goes bankrupt. Now, I'm not sure entirely where this story ends. There's the possibility of a deal between Morgan Creek and SBF in whatever form, whether it's FTX or Alameda. but it's still big boy stuff, making big boy deals and mopping up the undervalued and cheap assets created by the problems that they created in the first place. So much to unpack here, and it basically says, if you're one of the big boys, there's money to be made under whatever market conditions at whatever moment. And so we move on to Yuga Labs, who finally made their move on the people's provocateur slighter flips. I might have read that wrong. Be careful what you wish for, Monsieur Agitateur. Yes, Yuga is suing Ryder and hoping it will be RIP for his campaign to paint the founders of the Bored Ape Yacht Club as neo-Nazis. The complaint files for false designation of origin, false advertising, cyber squatting, trademark infringement, unfair competition, unjust enrichment, conversion, and tortious interference, which would be a great name for a thrash metal band. But notably here, nothing for copyright infringement. Now, I'm no lawyer, but if you want a detailed look, then Brian Fry, well, he's got you covered. But it boils down to this. Slidey Pipalundi, I might have read that wrong, is using Yuga's trademark to sell his NFTs, and the suit challenges that the expected defense is using Yuga's trademark to sell his NFTs, and the suit challenges the expected defense that this is fair use or satire. Now, it's likely to become a landmark suit for NFTs, and Ryder will undoubtedly position himself as the little guy, facing down the challenge of the NFT space's first big bully. Don't do it to me. I'm the little guy. I fight for you, the people. But it's all art, right? It's just art. That's all it is. It's art. You can't prosecute art. Turns out you probably can. So you might have noticed a tone of punishment and retribution about today's quick take, so it's almost absurdly apt that we end our broadgram with a chilling message from Anonymous. They're launching a token. Actually, that isn't the chilling bit. Well, actually, it is pretty chilling, but the whole thing is a little bit redonk, is it not?
Greetings, citizens of the world. This is a message from Anonymous for Do Kwon. The past several months have been bad for crypto and the economy as a whole. We were likely going to experience some pain in the crypto industry because of the macro environment regardless of what was happening internally. We were also due for another bear market this year, but the actions of Do Kwon, the founder of the Terra Luna ecosystem, is single-handedly responsible for scamming billions of dollars away from retail investors. Do Kwon made a name for himself with his arrogant tactics, trolling competitors, critics, and acting like he would never fail. In fact, he said that he found it entertaining to watch other projects fail.
So the video is short, but they go on to outline Do Kwon's alleged crimes and that he must be held accountable. But where does the Anon token fit in? It's there in the description. Well, here's the website. They claim, "We are changing the cryptocurrency sector in an agile manner for a better future." And they're starting by building on BNB chain. Yes, you read that right, BNB chain. There's a white paper, or rather a green paper, which reads, I'm going to be honest here, like pretty much every other shitcoin white paper I've ever read. Sorry, green paper. "We're disrupting the financial system, blah, blah. Facilitating privacy from the surveillance state." How exactly are you doing that? While annexing power from the bankers that continually suppress high climbers. There's even a roadmap which seems to basically promise everything. A wallet? You want a wallet? Well, they'll do a wallet. You want a DEX? They're doing that too. NFTs? Yep, you got that too. And guess what? There's even a metaverse. It's going to be called the Anonverse, and it will be connecting to all other metaverses out there as well. So not really that anonymous then. Come on! As they say, all activities that are lined up would consist of carefully thought out impacts to the premium branding of the Anon token. Come on. It's a horrible read. It's literally like they pulled every single buzzword they can think of from the cryptocurrency space and just thrown it in there. And because they have so many followers, because they're anonymous, I think a lot of people will just buy it up because they don't know how to read.
Do Kwon, if you are listening. Sadly, there is nothing that can be done to reverse the damage that you have done. At this point, the only thing that we can do is hold you accountable and make sure that you are brought to justice as soon as possible. We are Anonymous. We are Legion.
Well, you may well be anonymous. You may well be Legion. But on the evidence of this, you are not blockchain developers. And if you're talking about damage to retail investors, then fingers will be quickly pointing right back at you if you do decide to go ahead with this in its current form. So that's it for today's quick take. If you are bored to death of Yuga Labs, we will try not to cover them too much, but we can't help it. Big story. You get me? So anyway, that's it for today's quick take. We're back in the regular groove of things now. So have a great week. Try not to be too weird, because that is what I do. Peace!